Hi guys, I think it's worth just quickly going through the sketch functionality, specifically where we use it in a sequence. So if I just select sketch now and just take you through each of these icons, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. There's a couple of things in there you might not get first time, but sketch on and off's obvious. Then there's a select, so you can select existing um, sketch functionality. In this case it is the text box, so you can see I can, once I've put something on the pitch, I can use the select icon to move it around and resize it accordingly. If I click off of that, it deselects it. In this button next to it is actually a delete button, so if I click on it there, it would delete it, and I can undo that, of course, down the bottom here in the right hand corner. I've also got like a pen tool which I can draw something with and then select it and move it around if I want to, like so. Also I can just delete that, delete the text. There's also a line tool and an arrow tool and square, ellipse, and then there's this delete button at the end here which should delete everything. Also there's a hidden button, so you can actually just hide the sketch if you want to too. In this, we're currently on the whole play scope, so these sketches will appear regardless of which part of the sequence we're on, which is where it actually becomes a bit more interesting, I think. You've got, so let's just delete that. You've also got style here, so you can increase the stroke size, you can change the color, like so. And we can make that dashed if we wanted to, and just delete all those there. So that's that. There's this view option here too, where when you're annotating when you're creating a sequence, you get these auto annotations. You can just switch those off if you want to. You can also switch off the manual annotations, which is what we're currently doing now, which is similar to hiding it actually, but it applies to both sequence and basic sketching. So that pretty much covers all the sketch tools. They're all pretty straightforward. This scope is the bit to get your head around, so the whole play is everything. This step is only for specific steps in a sequence, which is what we're going to look at now. So if I just clear this down again and then go to selecting a player and just start building a sequence. So I'm just going to start with a blitz, knock this player into there, block an orc, knock him into there, and then let's do a pass action. So move this guy here, pass to the ogre, and then the ogre's gonna hand off to someone over here, this guy. And so you can see there we've built up a sequence. Now if we go to the sequence menu, we can see all of those actions. If we want to annotate one of those actions, as well as the auto annotations, we can just select blitz, for example, and it will go back to step 1, which is the blitz action, and then we can go to sketch, and it will automatically select this step if we're in a historic step. And then we can go to text, for example. Let's select a style, which is a customized color. So we might want to like an orangey color set, and then type, I don't know, whatever you want. So blitz 2D, for example. And then move on. We can then go to sequence and skip to the next step. And then maybe we'll annotate this. So we go back to sketch, select text, and then put in block 1D. and then switch back to sequence and skip back through to the next one. You can do that with your various steps, and obviously those annotations are appended to those steps. And then when you play it back, you'll get an indication of what you were doing at that point. Maybe put some of your thoughts down as to what should happen next. Maybe you could put probabilities down, you could put in the dice rolls or whatever you wanted to really. So that's that. And as like a more sort of complete demonstration, let me go to session and load up this one turn touchdown. Close that. And then if I go to sequence and press play, you can see there's a white with a blitz, then a mummy with a block, zombie move, mummy block, zombie block, zombie block, mummy move, sorry, a skeleton move, then another block from a skeleton, pass, handoff, then a touchdown. And I'll say it, as long as we don't roll any dice, didn't have to roll any dice, we'd be fine. There you go, cool. Cheers.